All right. Great. So this session, like I said, is going to be a very chill session, and Papan is going to be asking a few questions along the way. I think before we go there, let's get right to it first to have a good understanding of what this internship is about. So I'm just going to share my screen really quickly on our internship bit. Just give me a little bit of a quick moment. Can everybody see my screen? Perfect. All
Not
right.
yet. Not yet.
I think
Coming.
it's loading. Yeah.
Okay,
It's the
coming.
it's the weekend. So I think the computers are like a little bit taking a while. Can everybody see my screen right now? All
Yes,
good?
already.
Yes.
Perfect. All right. So, just like what James has actually shared, Twin is actually has a very strong experience in internship placements with over 30 years. It's actually a multi-award winning internship provider. So, finding Twin to actually place for internship is definitely one of the best choices for your students. And one of the key things to also take note is that by going through the Bellerbys UK route, our Bellerbys UK graduates will get to have a complimentary summer internship experience in London. So there are some criterias, and this internship placement typically comes at a cost. In this case, it's usually £1,000, but for Bellerbys UK graduates, it is entirely complimentary. So it's a very good value-added experience for this. James, would you like to also add on from a twins perspective on internship?
Yeah. So Twin is a not just an internship provider for university students, but we also deliver large government contracts for the UK. And we are also contracted by 6 UK universities to support in internship placement services for their 1+1 masters programs. So you'll find that we support students from Greenwich University, University of East Anglia, University of Exeter, University of the Creative Arts, and a few others, where we're supporting these students contracted directly by the university in supporting them to find their year in industry placement. So that same service that we provide to graduate students to bachelor students that are enrolled into programs at UK universities, we provide that to our Bellerbys UK students that are doing their foundation program. In terms of the multiple award winning, the multiple awards that we've won, if anyone knows the Study Travel magazine, for those of you that are based in Bangkok, they've got Alfie Asia that runs typically in February. So the STM awards, we've won that the Star Work Experience provider 5 times. So within the education industry, we are the market leader for internship services voted for by agencies, by partner colleges, partner universities. So this award-winning service is a free add-on complimentary service to all Bellerbys UK students. Just wanted to reiterate that. And that service is delivered specifically in London.
Thank you so much, James. So your students are definitely much in very, very good hands placing with Twin. So just now to highlight a little bit of the key points for this complimentary internship experience, it actually spans between 4 to 24 weeks. So we're looking at about 1 to 6 months. It is a one-time activation, which means that the duration cannot be split into different sections. So the moment the student decides to use this internship experience, they have to decide how long they would like this internship to be. It can be a summer internship, so you're looking at about maybe 2 to 3 months. It can also be like a big block of 6 months, but the student will have to decide the duration right from the start. So it doesn't mean that it can to be divided into 2 times 3 months, for example. That is not considered a one-time activation. So just something, a heads up for everybody to take note. Now, do take note that most organizations will be at the SME level, so small and medium enterprises, but that doesn't mean that the students will have a more compromised kind of experience because some of these SMEs actually have opportunities to work with a lot of global brands, global companies, etc., or even get to work in very good locations like Canary Wharf, which is also one of the financial districts in London. So of course, Twin is not leaving the students stranded, of course, just by throwing them into the deep end. There are support provided. So this includes CV writing, interview skills workshops that are done during the foundation program. And the cherry on top from this, a lovely experience is there is no expiry date. Choose to activate anytime once the eligibility criteria has been met. So in case you're scratching up your heads in terms of what do you mean by eligibility criteria, basically what it means is that the student needs to be minimum 18 years of age. This is an age requirement in the UK. They need to have valid UK working rights. So some of the sample UK working rights is stated here. So the one that we are very familiar with is the university student visa. And of course, the English requirement, which is B1, by then, most of the time, most students will have hit it anyway if you're going to the UK to study. And the last criteria, which is completion of the year one bachelor's degree. This is important because before you go into any internship, you need to have some form of relevant experience. Just like if you go for a law internship, for example, naturally you are expected to have some background knowledge of law. So therefore, the minimum completion of year one of bachelor's degree, this is actually one of the key criteria before applying for any internships. And I would like to take this opportunity and I'll pass this to James really quick to elaborate a little bit more. Just this year for summer vacations, Twin actually placed 60 students and counting for this summer for internship placement in fields such as finance, media, and business. So 60 is actually a very, very great number for internships, considering that, internship placements are not the easiest things to have. And furthermore, these internships, some of them are actually placed in London itself, and we also know how competitive the London landscape is. James, over to you.
Yeah, sure. So we've been working with a number of different nationalities, mainly students from China, from Vietnam, from Taiwan, Japan, Korea, students that have work rights due to their student visa status. They're looking for summer placements. A lot of the requests that we received were related to finance, accounting, business, marketing, graphic design. We've had some engineering students come in. In terms of names of companies, I think it's mentioned here, most companies are small to medium-sized enterprises. They're not large corporates. Large corporates have their own graduate programs, and they have huge volumes of applications to them. Therefore, there is less of an opportunity for Twin to offer graduate programs within corporates. However, we still work with lots of really good quality small to medium-sized enterprises across London. Maybe some of the larger names that you might recognize that we've done internship placements in within the past few years. So Thomson Reuters, a financial institution, you might know them as the financial news TV channel called Reuters. They're quite a large organization. We placed a UCL graduate there that studied finance, a very, very, very bright candidate. We've worked with Monsoon, which is a high street brand in the UK. It's a fashion brand. We placed someone into the marketing department there. So those are two examples of maybe more better known organizations internationally. We've even organized some internship placements within sports clubs. So in the UK, there's some football clubs. One is called Charlton Athletic. They're not in the Premier League, they're in the division below. And we've done some marketing internships there. So sports marketing. So yeah, lots of really interesting, diverse ranges of placements that are available. Over the past 30 years that we've been organizing internships in London, we've worked with over 500 companies. So lots of opportunities.
Thank you so much, James. So this is just a very quick timeline because I understand, if the student definitely will have questions to ask, and of course, parents will also have questions as well when it comes to timeline. So if they were to say like, oh, if I want an internship right now, do I get it straight away? Well, the answer is no, it does have a timeline involved in it as well. But Twin will be there with you guys every single step of the way. Just running really quickly how it goes. So if we are aiming for, let's say, like a summer internship, for example, it is recommended to reach out to Twin about 3 to 6 months before the expected internship commencement date. The reason why is because at the first milestone, Twin actually has to have a word with the student to assess expectations and of course gather details on what internship the student is actually looking for. And from there, we move on to the second milestone. Twin begin identifying potential internships for the student. And if everything goes well, there's selection provided. the third milestone, once student agrees to go ahead with the internship, then Twin, interviews for the not interview for the student, but student goes for the interview, pardon. But interviews take place about 4 to 8 weeks before the internship commencement itself. And once the interview has been completed and passed, student proceed with internship with regular check-ins from Twin. So it doesn't mean that it's the closed door, we just leave the student be. Nope. Twin will be there to guide them with every single step of the way. Now, the fifth milestone at the conclusion of the internship letter, a recommendation letter is provided for the student. There is an asterisk there because provided the student has done their part, do their due diligence and everything. Naturally, if the student has not fulfilled their end of the bargain or has certain expectations and stuff like that, then recommendation letter may be a little bit more of a challenging task. So this is just a general timeline for the students to take note of. And this whole duration can take about, roughly 3 to 6 months, depending on which one we are looking at. So, James, is there anything that you would like to focus a bit more on so that the agents here are aware and can brief their students specifically?
I think this slide shows a good rough idea about what the experience is like in terms from the beginning of the student experience to actually concluding their internship. Um, One thing that I would add is most students that perform well, they will get access to a recommendation letter. There are obviously some situations if a student doesn't turn up to their internship to the appropriate level, or they don't perform properly, companies do have the right to withhold a recommendation letter. Um, as is like within UK law, you can't provide a bad reference to someone, but all you can do is withhold a reference. So that is something to be aware of in case a student doesn't perform. But most students, from our experience, will get that recommendation letter. We also at Twin provide a completion of internship certificate. It's got our British Council accreditation on it. It's got our award accreditation on it from STM. So it's a nice document to present to potential employers to show that they did indeed do that work experience.
Thank you so much. I think key thing to also take note, especially at the first milestones as well. This internship, by the way, it is not paid. Okay, so because of the duration of the program itself, it is, some of the companies are not comfortable with the payment option and everything. So do take note and please help us to share this information to your students as well, that this internship doesn't come with any remuneration package. I think James, maybe you can also elaborate a little bit more about your personal experience with that. Does it affect internship placements as well?
Yeah, so typically when you're looking at summer placements, often the student is getting more from that experience than the company. I've managed interns many times over the past 15 years of my career. Typically, we take on interns because we know that we're sort of like supporting young individuals and we're giving them some level of education. Twin is an education business. So we are an English language school. We deliver a university foundation. We also deliver education for British people through UK government contracts. So we deliver apprenticeships. So we're very focused on giving young individuals the opportunity to learn. So when you consider that, typically businesses that take on interns, they're kind of like focused on giving young people opportunities to learn. Typically, companies don't always get that much out of a short placement. They're coming for 4 or 8 weeks. They normally spend the first 4 weeks training the students up, and then they get 4 weeks of activity from the candidate. Considering that, and also you have to invest quite a lot of time from the management time within that business that hosts the students. So for the shorter duration placements, we don't see any stipend provided. But for longer term students, so say for example, after graduation, they wait to access this program when they've completed their bachelor's degree, and they want to do, for example, a 4 to 6 month duration. There are opportunities to get some form of remuneration, whether that is in company travel expenses. So if the student is traveling to the office, all of those expenses are covered. In some cases, they also provide lunch expenses. In some rare cases, they might provide minimum wage during the length of the internship. I would say maybe 1 to 2 students out of 10 would be offered that, and they would need to be high level students. So, say for example, I mentioned earlier, I had a UCL graduate who studied finance. They had an incredible profile. They went to Reuters. They got a salary for that internship. But if we're looking at sort of students that don't really come across as like outstanding candidates, they would not be able to expect a full level of remuneration. They might be able to get travel expenses, but that's normally for 4 to 6 month duration placements. The shorter durations, typically, there's no remuneration provided.
Thank you so much. I mean, this is actually a very good insight in terms of the internship placement, because I'm not sure if about you guys, but I just thought the internship placement is something that's pretty straightforward, but there are also a lot of things, a lot of information and everything that comes into placing a student for internship. And it's really grateful that we have James here to explain and share with us more about what actually goes on in this internship placement. And from there, hopefully you'll be able to actually share the same piece of information over to your students. So these are just some of the sample companies profiles. So we are not able to provide the names of the companies, but these are actual company profiles for our interns to actually consider. So as you can see, they are broken down into different fields, whether you're looking for law, public relations, and the job description. And I think the job description is actually very helpful. So don't be fooled by simple things like office duties and calling clients. So a lot of the students might think that, oh, sounds so administrative, and why do I go to the law firm to do all this? It's a waste of time. No, there are certain skill sets to be learned when it comes to like taking, calls or calling clients, because that's when you start to formulate like what kind of questions you need to ask, what kind of tone you need to use, and how can you actually elicit certain pieces of information. And all these can only be taught at an internship level when you actually students go for internship. So similarly, when we look at public relations, you look at a job description, client research, prospection, all these are very important. Especially we have a lot of our agents here today. You guys will probably have done some form of marketing yourself. You guys probably may agree with me that some of the job description that is listed right here is why something that you guys are already doing right now. So for our future students, our young students, they would also want to have a taster, and that's when the internship comes in. So, we've spoken a lot about what internship is in Twin, but let these successful students share their insight. These are actual testimonials, successful testimonials coming from Twin during their whole duration. And these are just some of the samples for you to consider on their take on internship. And we intentionally took a very diverse mix of students so that you can see the kind of international support that Twin is able to provide. It is not just, oh, is it just Western or not? We have Asian, Middle Eastern, Russian, everything all over, just to show you that Twin is equipped with an international student profile when it comes to placing students for internships as well. So the slides, don't need to worry, it will be sent to you, by the way. So you can just sit back, relax, and chill and listen to the recording or the slides. We do have a few FAQs, and then after this, I'm going to hand over to lovely Papan to ask a set of questions as well. So some of the key things to actually take note is the internship guaranteed? Now, the answer is no, it is not. While Twin works closely with the students to find the best fit possible. Please understand the internship is a two-way street. So there are also other influencing factors as well, such as location, timeline, that might affect the outcome of the internship placement. Then, second question to students.
Janice,
yes.
Do you mind if I cover these points? I just wanted to expand on that.
Please.
We say the internship might not be guaranteed, only for those students that do not engage fully with our services. Okay, so during the foundation year, Twin is working with students on improving their CVs. We're working with them on studying how to use LinkedIn effectively, how to create a LinkedIn profile, how to apply for internships and jobs on LinkedIn. We look at interview techniques. We talk about British business etiquette and British business culture, because they're in the UK. They need to understand the differences between Thai or Laos culture to British culture. and how you behave in the office and how you behave in meetings. So from our experience in education, and we've got 30 years of it, we do find that some students are fantastic and engage, but some students, they come over to the UK and they might go a bit astray. They don't turn up to their one-to-ones with us. Those students wouldn't be able to get their placements. For the students that attend all of those sessions, that are engaging with our support team, they will get an internship. Okay, I just wanted to be quite clear. I just wanted to refer back to the previous page also that Janice was talking about the reviews. So Twin also has quite a lot of experience in working with Thai students. We've actually organized an internship program with Kasetsart University. So we've hosted 8 marketing students through a particular temporary work visa route. And they came a number of years ago to London to do a digital marketing internship. So we're experienced with Thai students, and our partnership was with Kasetsart, just to give you a bit more reassurance that we do have a bit of experience within your markets. I've been to Thailand many times as well. I work with a number of boarding schools and private schools in Thailand, so we have some good relationships there, and we hope to build in Laos as well. Janice, did you want to go back to the next slide? Yeah. So in terms of the payment for the internship service, Twin, for any private funded customers that have not booked the Bellerbys program, our price to buy this service is £1,000. Okay. So we have many direct customers that come to us every sort of like March, April time. They realize that they need to get some experience under their belt before they graduate, so they are more employable than their peers. We provide that service to them. They pay £1,000. Every Bellerbys student that books the Bellerbys package in the UK, the Bellerbys Foundation program, we provide that as a complimentary service. There's no additional fee. It's included in that package. When it comes to interviewing, and the Twin has organized an internship placement for students, we organize a first round for the student to meet the new company related to the sector that they've stated they want to do the internship in. In some cases, the student might not perform to the level that we hoped, and they might fail their first interview. Okay. We would then find a second interview for the student to do a potential placement in. In both cases, we collect the feedback from the host company, and we find out the reasons why either they were accepted or rejected. We relay that information back to the student so they can learn. If they didn't pass the first interview, they can learn why they were not successful, and they can make adjustments and improve for the future so that they can pass a second interview with a different company. Okay. In some cases, the student might not be able to pass either interview despite the coaching that we gave them. Now, Twin, we're in a position where we cannot do unlimited interviews. It takes a lot of work, a lot of time to call companies, present CVs, build relationships with them. So we have to draw a line at some point, and that's where we draw the line. 2 interviews. If the student fails both interviews, and in between, we'll help prepare them for them as well. But if they fail 2, that's the end of the service. Twin has delivered our promise of giving the opportunity for an interview, for a potential internship. So that's how it works there. Then in terms of the complementary internship placements being used at a later date, students can indeed access the internship program when they graduated. If they complete their bachelor's program in the UK and they choose to apply for the graduate visa, which provides now 18 months of post-study work rights, they can choose to activate the internship placement service then, when they can do maybe a 6-month internship for a longer duration. And in some maybe rare scenarios, maybe a customer will come back and they've got a dependent visa. Maybe they've got married and they've come to the UK and they want to do an internship. if they were a Bellerbys UK student at any point in time, they can access that service in the future. Okay, as long as they've got the required work rights for the UK. And finally, in terms of the internship locations, is it only in London? So yes, Twin has been based in London our entire business life, so 31 years. Most of our relationships and contacts are in London. However, we do have UK government contract delivery offices in other regions in the UK where we have employer relationships because we deliver apprenticeships where we place young British people into educational and work placements. So they do their course and their work placement at the same time. So we've got offices in Leicester, in Birmingham, in the southwest, in Bath and Bristol, and we've got some offices in the northeast, close to Newcastle. So we do have some other locations that we might be able to organise some internships in, but the main leading location that we deliver in is in London. Thanks, Janice. I'll pass back to you. Sorry for that.
No problem. That's a very good and comprehensive breakdown. But since we're on the topic of questions, Pathan, so I believe you also have a set of questions to ask as well. So Pathan, over to you.
Okay, Janice, thank you so much, Janice and James, for the very clear explanations. Actually, my questions, some of my question already got answer from you from the slides. Yeah, and it's very good that you also highlight that for this internship program is a complementary, is an incentive for the student who study at Bellerbys UK. Because some of the agents here might think, oh, maybe they need to pay for the service charge. I just want to highlight again to everyone, this program is offer for complimentary for free. Yes, after graduate from Bellerbys UK. Yes. So for just for general information, for some agents that might not work for the UK before, Bellerbys is the place where the student can study foundation, and can progress to many university in the UK and also other destinations. But here we would like to sell the UK because at the end of the day, the student can do the internship within the UK. Yes. So, while I asking the question, I also would like our participant to think of the question that you might like to know about this program. You can put the question in the Q&A chat box, and after I finish my questions, I can choose some question from your side to ask James and Janice as well. Okay. The first question from me, I would like to know if the twins industrial partners has or the sectors or not.
Oh, what range of sectors we offer placements in, right?
Mm.
So I would say the leading sectors that we organize internships in, because when you think of London, there are particular services that London is very well known for, and then there's certain other sectors that maybe are more based outside of cities, such as like more engineering type placements, factory-based placements that they'd be outside of London. But within our London main service, we're looking at finance, accounting, business, PR, communications, digital marketing, social media marketing, law, graphic design, architecture. Those are just a few off the top of my head. Human resources. So those are like, you can tell that those are more sort of finance, business related topics, areas. But we do look at different case by case requests. In the past year, we have done some more unusual requests. So if any of you have been to London, you might know Kew Gardens. It's a beautiful place. I'd really highly recommend it. We placed horticultural students that are specialists in plant diversity and things like this. We've placed these students at Kew Gardens because they wanted to learn more about gardening. but like professional gardening. We've done placements for a vet in a local city farm. So they studied animal veterinary services, and they got placed in a London city farm working with cows and sheep in the city farm. So it's quite interesting. We do have some very niche opportunities also. We work with a sports charity that works with athletics students who represent Great Britain in the Commonwealth Games, so we work with a really diverse range of different opportunities, but the main headline ones are focused on business, finance, management, that type of thing.
That is very various that you also
Mm.
have gardening. Yes.
At Kew Gardens as well, which is the UK's probably the leading garden park
Mm.
in the UK. It's amazing if any of you have been there. If you haven't and you come to London, I recommend it. It's a really nice day out.
I see, I see.
Mm.
I also would like to know that if the student take these internship opportunities, is there any students in the past that really get the real career or real job, long-term job in real after finish this internship?
It can happen, but it's rare. Okay, so I can think of a few students in the past couple of years that were offered work, but they were not sponsored. They were offered work within their graduate visa. So I don't know. I don't have any examples of students that were offered a sponsorship
Mm.
for a skilled work visa, but I do know students that were offered work until the end of their graduate visa. But I would say it's quite rare. I'd say maybe one in 50 students would be offered that opportunity. This
Mm.
program, when we approach companies, we present the candidates as students that are there for as part of their education. This is not a work program. This is an educational internship where they support the student to learn, get exposure to the sector. So because of that, most employers see students as they will have to leave at the end of their program. But some exceptional students that are very talented, that show that they can really provide value to the company, we have had some students be offered work, yeah.
Mm. And can this program be kept until the student final year of bachelor degree? Like after they
Yeah,
graduate and they enter the postgraduate working visa, can they still use this one?
yeah, exactly. So they
Mm.
can do it at the end of their first summer of their bachelor's program, the end of the second year of their bachelor's program. They can do it after they graduate their bachelor's program after year three. If they go and do a master and if they didn't use it, then if they choose to go and do a master's in the UK, they could still just activate it after their master's program. So they can choose when they want to access it. But that placement service, once you book Bellerbys UK, you've got access to that indefinitely, one-time access, and you need to meet the eligibility criteria. So work rights is the main thing that they need to have.
Mm. I see. And usually the university in the UK will offer the internship as well. May I ask how will it be different between going with your program or going with the university?
That's fine. Well, most we six universities hire Twin to
Uh,
deliver that service for them. So
ah,
um, when universities said that they organize internships, I can say that Greenwich, I can say that University of East Anglia, I can say that Exeter, they hire us to deliver those services that they say they do, and we are award winning for that. So we can get an extra internship for them. So if a university delivers it, maybe they'll do it in at the end of year two. Twin can do it at the end of year one. When they graduate, they've got two internships from their first 3 years. They are much more likely to get a job and find employment than students that didn't do anything. So if I was a parent and I'm sending my child to go to university, um, the biggest outcome for me, that the most important outcome for me would be to know that my child has the skills and education to be financially secure for when I'm gone. That would be the most important thing to me. And by doing programs like this, and by making sure the students have more experience by the time they finish their education, they're going to be in a better position than most other students in their year group. So you're just giving your child um, a head start. That's how I see it in the world of employment, because it's becoming more difficult in the UK. Youth unemployment, so those who are 16 to 24, over the past 3 years, youth unemployment has gone up each year. So last year it was 14%. This year it's 16.8%. I think it's gone up almost 3% in youth unemployment. So you need to invest in skills and also work skills to make sure that you're ahead of the game. So our program gives that best opportunity.
Yeah, I just want to add
Mm,
on as well, because like in a university, right, they of course have their own career services team, but let's be realistic here, because it's like usually like a 6 to 7 member team dealing with thousands of students. Whereas compared to, let's say, with the Bellerbys, or in this case with Twin internship itself, is more dedicated and more focused with the kind of support that's given. And as James have said, they have partnerships with universities. They actually outsource this kind of service, because in order to get internship placement, the network is very important. And Twin themselves has really built a very good reputation in the industry with internship itself. And therefore, James can confidently say that, the different sectors of internship placement, from the most common with business and finance, all the way down to horticulture, which is super rare. And I think we do see some cases, Pafan will probably agree with me, that there are some students who come up with some interesting niche degrees that probably we have not even heard of. And now we can actually say with full confidence that, with James and of course his team's experience with so many different sectors, that confidence of getting an internship, and hopefully in the future, whether they choose to continue their employment in the UK, if they manage to get some sponsorship, or if they come back to their home country or anywhere else in the world, that experience follows them wherever they go. Sorry, Pafan, over to you.
mm. That is a very good motto already. It has to be the final word already, actually. Okay, I continue asking question because our participant is very quiet. Everyone, before you going for the Friday night, please ask some question first. So, yes, please be engaged with us. Okay, for the next questions that I would like to know, actually, I check out Twin website a bit, and I can see that you guys also partner with other countries. I would like to know if the student from Bellerbys can do the internship outside London in other cities or in other countries as well.
Sure. So the Twin has other offices.
Mm,
We're international. We have a office in Dublin and a school in Dublin, and we have an office in Spain in Valencia. Now, this this program, this complementary service, is only relevant to UK internship placements because of work rights. So if you wanted to go to Spain, we would need to go through quite a complicated, different visa application for students to do an internship in Spain. Same with Dublin. Whereas students that are doing Bellerbys UK and they're going progressing into university into the UK, they have work rights under the university visa. Um, but Twin does, yes, we deliver internship services in other countries. Most customers going to Spain and Dublin, they are our European Union customers, and they have freedom of movement. So if you are German, you can just fly to Spain and work. No visas. It's very simple. The same with Ireland. You can just fly from France to Ireland, and you can just work. There's no visa complications. So our service is focused on the UK, but also London. London, I would argue, I'm a Londoner. I'm a bit biased. I was born here. It's my hometown. I think it's probably the best city at least in Europe, to do an internship in. Um, So yeah, I would welcome students to direct their interest to London because there's more opportunity here as well.
Okay, we have got one question from our participant. Thank you so much, Naka. Thank you so much. Okay, you can see in the Q&A chat box as well. I will read it out. Through the application, possible for students to apply for the internship just to save a spot, but students still have no idea what kind of job or specific job for some fields. Or if they apply but at the end they change their mind to switch to another internship job. Is there any change for the change?
Okay, I think I understand what you mean, Chitima. So when students are going through their foundation program with Twin, that's when we're giving them the employability skills training. So we're improving their CV, we're improving their interview techniques. Now they can't access the internship until they complete their first year of university in the UK. So it's not after the foundation year, it's after their first year of bachelor's. So maybe they want to register their interest maybe in, I don't know, March, April of the summer they want to do the placement. Um, so we speak to them, we assess them, we prepare to look for an internship. But during the assessment, that's when we understand what they want to do. Maybe they say they want to be in a financial placement, for example. So we then begin searching for the internship. We don't have a list of vacancies a student can choose from. We do speak with companies and we let them know, and they've got relationships with us. Um, so we do then present the CV to the company and organize an interview from that stage. If a student wants to switch to another internship job, I don't know whether that means changing the desired sector or whether it's like they don't like the first company that's provided in finance and they want another financial company. If a student doesn't like the first company that we present, we ask why, because we would only present a company that matches what was agreed during the assessment call. Okay. So during the assessment, we say, okay, we agree you'll go do a finance placement in zones 1 to 3 of London, and it will be a finance, like an entry level finance placement. And then we present the company and the placement, and it matches everything that's agreed. If the student says that they don't like it, we ask why. If the student provides a reason that proves that Twin has not met the agreement, then we will look for another company. If the student just decided they don't like the company, but it matches everything that was agreed from the beginning, Twin will not organize another interview without the student doing the interview, because we met the agreement, you know. So yeah, that's how it works. If the student fails 2 interviews, we wouldn't organize any further place companies for them to interview. Okay.
Mm.
And then when we're looking at the idea that they don't know what kind of job or specific field that they want, we can't really work on a student if they don't tell us what they want. Okay. So if the student says, I want to do an internship and I don't know what sector, we, during our assessment with them, we get them to think and guide them towards placement sector to focus on, because the Twin can't do anything if the student says, I don't know what I want to do. So we can't call up companies and say the student doesn't know what he wants to do. We need to be direct and clear about the student's objectives. And during the assessment, we do that with them and we guide them towards the correct field for them from our understanding.
Yeah, I just want to add on as well. I think that's why with the sharing of the timeline is very important. So it's just that the internship, the complementary internship is a very wonderful piece and it's actually a very attractive piece, I must say. But at the same time, we would also need to be mindful because at the end of the day, the internship is meant to basically boost and help the students stand out and be more aligned and basically apply for whatever that they're interested in or the future careers. So there is um the kind of choices, the kind of from every single step of the way becomes very important. But during this process itself, during the Bellerbys Foundation itself, that's when I like to call it the exploratory phase. And that's when, the team at Twin will also be also walking through and also letting them explore, like, when they choose their particular business, like maybe business or even engineering or computing, we know a rough interest where they're heading towards. And then sort of filtering from there. And then the requirement of a first year bachelor's degree to have some form of background knowledge, it also serves to let them basically understand in what area are we looking for. So for example, if we go for computer science, are we looking for hardware or software? Are you looking for more software engineering or more leaning towards the more like hardware point of view? So throughout with this first year of bachelor's degree experience and involved in the particular field, you will also have a rough direction pointing towards where you would want to go. So if we have students who are coming in like maybe end of first year or even like maybe the beginning of the second year, then of course there are certain things if they are very ambitious, I believe, James, maybe you can add on to that as well. Twin team will of course assess and manage your expectations accordingly to understand, okay, what knowledge you have, experience you have, why would you want to choose this? So earlier, James also mentioned about the UCL student, very outstanding, probably have a substantial amount of experience or some form of knowledge under the belt, and then therefore they are therefore able to stand at a better opportunity. So there are a lot of other influencing factors, and in itself is a good soft skill. So it's to let them know that if we want to have a career in any sector, the preparatory work needs to be done. So this is also to eliminate, like based on the questions we talked about, like what if they decided to change job and understand the rationale why the sudden switch. If the sudden switch is, oh, my friend is there, yeah, then this is something that is going to be needs a little bit more digging and understanding. So very good exposure to what adult life, real world is like. I'll put it that way. Sorry, Pafan. And thank you so much for the
Mm.
question. It's a very good question, by the way.
Yes. Yeah, just to add one more question before we go to have a Friday night together. I want to know when the student want to use your service, like want to get some guidance, how can they contact you? They need to go to your center or is online?
So we can look at this in two ways. If you've got a student that's booked the Bellerbys Foundation program, so Twin is obviously the partner delivery center in the UK with Bellerbys Global. So study group and Twin are combined and we're partners for this delivery. For those students, they would have one entire year, academic year, engaging in our services, meeting our team. They would meet me because I'm based in the London HQ. I might even be involved in some of the employability sessions because I've got a big background in employability skills training because I'm a qualified teacher as well. So I might be, I would probably be the best person to contact, but we also have a student services team that any of the students could talk to in our school and ask to learn more about that service. If you have customers, on the other hand, that are in the UK, maybe they have not booked Bellerbys program, but they've come to the UK maybe through another study group foundation program in an integrated study center in one of the locations in the UK, and they just want to book this service as an additional fee, they can contact either Janice or me, and we can guide them through the booking process. So you can either access this program for free by booking Bellerbys Global, or if you have students that are already in the UK and they can possibly do Bellerbys, you can approach Janice and I can support them in booking this service. Like I said earlier, the normal price for this program is £1,000. So that would be the fee to access the service if you don't book Bellerbys.
Yes. Okay, thank you very much. I think the information is very clear today.
Yes. Sorry,
Yes.
Pafan. Let me just do a really quick run through on the Bellerbys program, just in case some of our lovely participants here are not familiar with the Bellerbys program yet, really quickly, if that's okay with you.
Yes, of course. This is a very good Very good approach.
All right. All right. So I'm not going to take up too much of your time. I know we have 5 minutes left to a good Friday night. So I just want to quickly explain Bellerbys UK. Some of you guys may or may not have heard before Bellerbys before, but we have been around for quite a number of years. And this time round is taken on in a different format. But basically what Bellerbys does is you choose your foundation program, unlike our ISC models where you choose the university and the degree right from the start. Students don't have to do that. So they start off with the Bellerbys UK Foundation first with Twin, and then during the foundation program, so depending on the scores, etc., they will choose which university they would like to go for. So and also choosing the progression degree. Once they have chosen it, they will then basically put it in their selections. If they're going for the UK, you'll be under the UCAS selection. And of course, if it's other countries, which I will cover in a quick bit for that, they have their own respective application channels. And all they have to do is just to complete their foundation program and meet the progression scores. All right. So why choose Bellerbys UK? Because like I said, the university and location, because it's in great UK, London itself. But most importantly, there are campuses as well. There's two campuses to choose from. We have Eastbourne and London. But just FYI, for our upcoming September intake, it's just focusing on the London campus. But nevertheless, for Bellerbys UK, if your student has already had this eyes set on the UK destination, coming to Bellerbys UK is a great start because it allows you to transit and immerse in the UK culture right from the start. And of course, with the lovely team at Twin, they will also help you to get there, to get yourself familiar with how the British education system works and the university and the tertiary education life. So some of the key pieces of information, our Bellerbys UK Foundation can accept students who are from 16 onwards. So if you have very young students, Bellerbys is definitely an option for you. It is spread across 3 different subject routes: business, finance, and management, computing and engineering, and of course, media, spread over a 2-semester course. The tuition fee is at £20,000, but there's something sweet for you guys later on. And in terms of on-site accommodation fee, please feel free to check in with James or myself. We are more than happy to provide the information on a separate note. And English requirements and entry requirements, you can check in with myself and of course with James and of course with Kafan. So our September intake, it's still ongoing as well. So it is a September 14th, that's where our intake is. But if your student is not able to make it for September, don't need to worry. We have a January intake commencing on January 4th, 2027. So earlier I mentioned there is a cherry on top behind all this presentation, and you guys have the first-hand information for this. For September 2026 intake, the UK Foundation is going to be cost at £15,000 because we are giving a very lovely scholarship, £5,000 scholarship, no questions asked. All right, so do send your students away. September intake is still open. And at the bottom, just want to showcase for you what it actually looks like. 15,000 UK Foundation, Bellerbys UK Foundation, with a complimentary FOC London internship face to face, might I add, and allowing you to progress to over 50 UK universities. Plus, if your student would like to go for universities from other countries, we have over 9 countries for you to choose from. Everything add up, maximize student success. So this is a very, very good combination. So do not miss this good opportunity for your students. And here is just a very quick summary in 1, 2, and 3. One trusted curriculum from Bellerbys aligned to UK regulated qualifications framework. 2 lovely learning environments, whether city or country. This is, of course, for future intakes. And 3 subject routes for you to choose from. So something for everyone. So I apologize if I breezed this right through, but the great news is I'm done. So go global with Bellerbys. Looking forward for your support. Kafan, over back to you.
Okay. Do you have the slide for the partnership university that you have as well?
I do. Okay, so not that I don't want to put it in, but because the universities keep on adding.
Ah,
So
I
if I
see.
gi- if I give you the list, it's going to update later on and everything. So the best would be to actually go online and search
Ah, I see.
the
Okay.
latest set of universities. Yep.
Okay, okay. So for these products, for everyone, this one is for the student who doesn't know where to progress to. If the student still thinking about the university, they maybe want to go to University A, University B, University C, cannot make a decision just don't go for the foundation within that university. Just go for the general foundation like the Bellerbys UK.
Mm.
And then after graduate, can choose the university afterwards.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and just to
Yeah.
add on as well, if they want to spread it out, like for example, I want to aim like all high-ranking universities, you don't want to keep all your eggs in one basket, Bellerbys is definitely the way to go. Because sometimes, we have cases where some students actually choose this particular university, maybe University A, because they heard so much about it. And the moment they go to the university, they realize it was nothing what they liked. And they want to switch after they complete the university foundation. So that's when things get a little bit tricky. So in Bellerbys, something for everyone. The keyword is choice, spreading it out. So for those agents here, if you happen to do investments, we know we spread out. So Bellerbys is the one for you to consider.
Yeah. It lowers risk,
Yeah.
right? If you do the 1 year, if you go to an integrated study center, the student is committed to 4 years at that city. Maybe that student doesn't like that city when they arrive in year one. When they do Bellerbys in London, London is a city that's difficult to not enjoy, to be honest. It's an amazing city. And then they can spend the first year doing their foundation, visiting Birmingham, visiting Durham, visiting Exeter, visiting Bristol. And then they can see what is the right city for them. Then they can go there when they start their bachelor's. And it reduces the risk that the child is trapped in a city that they don't like for 4 years. So it reduces risks because it's a big investment for parents.
Yep. So that's, I think, all from us. James, any parting words?
Yeah, I just want to say thank you for all of your time. I know it's Friday night and you're probably gagging to go for dinner. So I'm going to let you guys enjoy your Friday night and weekend and have a drink for me. I've still got 7, 8 more hours of work to do before it's dinner time.
Oh, that's true. So sorry. I was impolite when I mentioned that.
It's okay. I'm
Okay.
jealous. It's okay.
Happy lunchtime, James.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, everyone, who actually took out their time. So yeah, that's all from me. 2 minutes past. I think that's all. We can go enjoy a great Friday night and a great weekend. So Pafan, over to
Thank you.
you to wrap it up. Yep.
Okay. Then thank you very much, James. Thank you very much, Janice. And thank you very much all the participants that joining us today. So we will meet again for the next webinar. Today, please enjoy your Fridays and have a nice weekend as well. Goodbye, everyone.
Goodbye.